Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's the final day of the Journalism AI Festival, and most of you must be used to my face by now, but for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Lakshmi, a community coordinator with Journalism AI, and I will be the host for this particular session. The Journalism AI Festival is a celebration of the most exciting developments at the intersection of journalism and artificial intelligence. Over the past week, we've been hosting conversations and case studies the Journalism AI, and it is supported by the Google News Initiative. If you go to the website journalismai.info, you will find more information about our activities. For example, we most recently published the AI Journalism Starter Pack, which contains some of the most pressing questions and answers that our community members have asked us over the past 3 years. So make sure to check out that information on journalismai.info. And now for some recommendations on how to enjoy the festival. If you have any questions at all for our speakers, make sure to drop them in the YouTube live chat. We will be picking it up from there and asking them during the Q&A component of the session. If you haven't already done so, join the Telegram community at t.me/journalismai. And if you plan on tweeting about us or sharing the content on social media, make sure to use the hashtag journalismai. And today is the final day of the festival. So if you want to know what more we have in store for you, make sure to check out the program at journalismaifestival.com. Last 2 points. One is if you haven't already signed up, sign up for our newsletter. It's great, and you get a lot of information about the use of AI in newsrooms across the world. And finally, our biggest recommendation of them all is to be open, be curious, and be kind, because we're all here to learn from each other, and this is going to be the best way to go about doing so. Before we get to the session of the hour, I just wanted to remind you that immediately after this, at 12:15 p.m. today, we have another session called Facts at Your Fingertips, Automating Information Modules. So participants from our EMEA Collab challenges will be talking about how and why they decided to automatically generate fact boxes to add context to articles. So don't miss that session. And after that, we have the final session for the day and of the festival called The Future of AI in Journalism, which, as the name suggests, will explore the future of AI in journalism. And now for the session that you've all been waiting for, which is Inkyfada's method to solving the NLP divide. Inkyfada is a Tunisian newsroom, which is an independent newsroom and nonprofit. It was started in 2014 by a group of journalists, developers, and graphic designers. They publish some cutting-edge investigations and data visualizations. Today, we have with us Chayma, Mehdi, and Farouk Ali, 2 journalists from Inkyfada, who will be talking to us about how they've been approaching AI in the newsroom and how they've been overcoming the barriers that natural language processing poses for non-English languages. Chayma, Farouk, welcome. I give you the floor now to go ahead with your presentations.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting us to this session. Thank you for everyone who showing the presentation, and we are waiting for your comments to answer them at the end of the session. So let's start. I'm Chayma Mehdi, head of development department of Inkyfada, named Inkylab, and a member of its parent structure named Khatt. So I guess all of you know already the media, Inkyfada. Inkyfada was founded in 2014 by a group of journalists, developer, and designer. This is the true richness of the media, and we believe this is also the secret of its success. Inkylab is the IT division of Inkyfada. Since its launch, the unit worked to provide the newsroom a set of tools and custom designer templates for the featured stories and investigative pieces. Now the team is responsible of the whole IT structure of Inkyfada and is especially in charge of development and maintaining the Inkyfada's platform of publication named Inkyb. Inkyb is a solution for online editor who wants to publish interactive stories with rich content and integrate data visualization tool to provide a more advanced reading experience. Inkylab is also selling its expertise and scripts and web solution to create a revenue mainstream to fund the main structure of Khatt. Inkylab is also leading in NLP in Arabic, developing the necessary data sets for machine learning application in Arabic. The project has already benefited from a large community, international and regional network in the field of journalism and technology. The family has grown up with a group of data scientists in the last few years. With me, Farouk Ali, the head of R&D unit, Firas Khalil, which is a senior dataset, Ayman Swede, who's still a student, but he joined the team a few months ago, and Linda Stiti, which is our coordinator and data checker. So this is the plan of our presentation. We will start with a small introduction to the subject. After that, we will see together why do we need Arabic NLP tools. What can we use it for? Farouk will explain the problems, the technical problems and challenges that his teams has faced to solve the gap between the Arabic NLP and the English NLP. Just to remember that the problem that we face regarding the NLP, the Arabic NLP, are also applied to other language. That's the same. We will then explain the approach, and we will see that's the same thing for other language. We can follow the same steps to solve the problem regarding other language, and then we'll see the perspective of the unit to solve all the problem regarding French also and Arabic. So let's start with the NLP. NLP is natural language processing. It's a field of machine learning that's aimed to analyze text, to understand it, to generate human language that can be applied to video with the subscription, that can be applied also to audio content or text or posts, and that can help a lot to understand the content of this kind of format, but also to classify it, to detect the entity within this content, to detect topic, to analyze the sentiment within this content. So why do we need Arabic NLP tools? This is the answer to this question it's the same for all the language, even the English NLP tools. The NLP tools can help journalists to reach a larger audience when NLP can help journalists to translate their work to other language automatically. It can help them save time and money to generate automatically subtitles for audio, subtitles for video, to generate summary for their content, to duplicate their content, to share it on social media. It can help them keep the user more engaged. It can help them generate automatically content for example, for newsletter, based on the behavior of their audience, based on the topic that are interested in their audience. It can automate tasks that can take a lot of resources consuming. It detects patterns that can be detected by human. For example, when we tried a few weeks ago to analyze the speech of our president since the 25th July. He made a lot of speech that will take a lot of time from journalists to analyze it and to detect what's the topic, what's the main words that be said by the president. So the machine help us to generate text from this video and then analyze them and understand what's the topic, what's the word that can help and journalists understand the main idea. So why there is a gap between Arabic and English NLP tools? How can we prove that there is a gap between these two languages? So despite the fact that 25 countries speak Arabic as their mother language, there is the Arabic NLP tools still underserved within the research community. When we saw, for example, when we go through popular websites that researchers publish their work on it, like for example. Havix or other platforms, we saw that there is a lot of NLP models deployed, but there is a few of just 161 models deployed for Arabic NLP. When we go through other platforms where scientific published their scientific articles, we saw also a gap from between scientific publication about English NLP and Arabic NLP. So what can we use it for? How NLP can improve the work of journalists? A very popular case of study that can help journalists to improve their work is the recommendation system. There is two approaches on a recommendation system. There is the content-based approach and the behavior approach. The content-based approach is the approach that will analyze the whole articles written by a user and analyze the text and the main topics common in the article that has been written by the user, and then propose a new article based on the same topics or the same idea already written by the same users. So this is the first approach. The second one is based on behavior. The machine will detect patterns. So when user one read the article A, then B, then C, and another user read the article A and B, so the machine will propose the article C to the second user. In Inkyfada membership profile, we already deploy the first approach, the content-based approach. So when the machine will analyze the viewing activity list of article and then propose the other articles based on the content of the first one to the user. So the second application that the journalist can have it with NLP is the summary, the text generator application. So it can be for summary, for title, for lead, for the duplication of content on social media. And there is also two approach: the extractive one and the abstractive one. So the extractive one will analyze the whole text and try to detect which sentence are the most important in the article, and try to generate a paragraph based on this sentence. The second approach is the machine will detect the whole text, but it will try. The machine will try to generate other text. It can be not a part of the first one, and try to have the main idea of the article in the second in the summary article. And this is the most difficult way to generate text. So, but this is the most challengeable way to generate text. So I will introduce you Farouk Ali for the second part of the session.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be part of this event. And thank you, Chayma, for the introduction. I'm Farouk Ali, the head of the R&D unit in Inkylab. And I'll be going through a little bit more of tools that we are developing and can be used in the NLP world. So we have here the text-to-speech and speech-to-text solution. This is very, very useful. It's mainly used to treat audio and text, either convert audio to text or text to audio. We can use this in so much tasks that could help the journalism improve the media. Like, for example, we can create subtitles for the podcast, which could take a lot of time to be done manually by the journalist. We can go even further by creating an interactive bot with voice command in other language. We all know that in English it's very, very useful. There's an individual product that use the bots, the interactive bots by voice command. We're trying to duplicate that in Arabic language, and it could be duplicated in any other language. And of course, we're trying to reach users with disabilities like vision impairment or hearing impairment by translating either a podcast into a text so it can be read, or a text article into a podcast or a voice so it can be heard instead of reading the article. And of course, there is the basic tasks of text mining. The most notable one is named entity detection, identifying persons, location, and organization in a text. This is very useful. Everyone can agree with us that analyzing text and extracting the named entity detection is the main purpose of NLP. And of course, we have the sentiment analysis, so we can analyze the comments by the users or even speeches done by other people, classify it, and understand more our users' opinion about us. There is the co-reference resolution. We can track an entity in a text and know where it appears in a text, and we can even go further by tracking an entity in one text across multiple documents, so we can track where that entity has appeared. And of course, some useful other useful tasks. One was even proposed in the challenge of JournalismAI is detecting the sources and the codes. So this task was mainly used in fake news detection, where we detect the sources and go check if the codes said by that sources really did that sources said these codes. That screenshot was actually for a real project that we are working on. We are detecting persons that appear, calculate the importance of each person, classified by gender, and detecting the codes, and of course classified by gender. This project was is project for Wanifra. We are working it on English and Arabic. And as you can imagine, the Arabic part was a lot more harder, and we're still working on it, trying to improve it. So what are the problems and challenges that we faced during these projects and translating the English solution into Arabic? So the existing solution for English are very impressive. Actually, it's used and widely used in the media or any IT or I don't know, websites that we use it. We use frequently. The English language is giving very impressive results, and that's due to the immense amount of data that we can find on the internet that are for the English, and the impressive and the huge amount of resource dedicated to improving these results. But when we move to Arabic language, we find that the solution are very minimal with way less functionality. And the first roadblock is the data. The data that we are using to train the Arabic language are non-existent to very small data sets that can't give us the impressive results. So we can show the Arabic AI language, give it directly to the user. It's not so easy to consume and doesn't create a very accurate solution. We worked hard to solve this, the first roadblock, which is the data, as I said, and there are many solutions, but we used the most accessible ones first. We use the data scraping. The data scraping is the fact of scouting and collecting the data from the internet, from the open sources. This method can be tricky. The sources that we scrap should be of high quality. We should check our data very regularly and be recommended by our journalists. For example, we used the data scraping in collecting pairs of leads, summaries, and articles in Arabic language. But we can't just scrap data and not make sure that it's the quality and of the standards of our journalistic standards. So we use our journalists to recommend the sites and the article that we should scrap, and then we create a huge data set that go in other steps into cleaning to classify it from extractive and abstractive summaries, so we can create an AI that can generate summaries and titles, as Chayma just presented in the previous dispositives. And of course, we invoke the help of data annotators. This is the most sophisticated and frankly very hard and pricey solution. We use the freelancers coordinated by Linda Stiti that we presented in the second part of the presentation. But this solution is very sophisticated, ensures a quality data, and of course we can ask for the specific data with a specific format for the task that we needed, as classification, detection, or even generation of text. And for our final solution, we used crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing is the fact of bringing the community together to create an open source data set that everyone can access and can contribute to make. The first platform we create is Inkyvoices. It's an open source platform that you can record audios, and we create a data set of pairs of audios and text, so we can create the text-to-speech and speech-to-text AI solution. This platform will be available for everyone. The data set will be available for everyone. We hope we can reach with our media and our community to create a data set that can make this the same results in near perfect human voices or a transcription of text. So we finally, in conclusion, we can all agree that the Arabic NLP, or for that matter, any other language other than English, and very few languages that did the research, have way less functionality and way less accuracy than its counterpart in the English language. Hopefully, through our workouts, we can catch up to the performance of the English AI tools and start to exceed and improve and innovate in the Arabic language before we can have the English reach these impressive results and be used directly to our users. We can deny the helpfulness of AI and NLP tools for the journalistic work. And through our work, we're trying to give the user access directly to the AI and make the AI shine and give show its promise directly to our user. And thank you.
Thank you, Chayma. Thank you, Farouk. That was a great presentation. I learned a lot from it. I just had a couple of questions for you. In the meanwhile, while the comments, while the audience puts in their questions, just going back to crowdsourcing and how you were talking about you're trying to crowdsource voices. How does that process work, and how can somebody contribute to it?
Through the crowdsourcing, there are open platform. There's actually a lot of platform that already exists on the internet, but our solution, we try to reach the community that speaks Arabic and can help us collect the data set required to Arabic. Our platform, like Inkyvoices, would be very soon ready and available for everyone. Maybe we can communicate it through your newsletter if you could help us. So you can help us create the largest data set of pairs of audio and text, so we can create the text-to-speech and speech-to-text solution.
Of course, we're always here to help you with that.
Thank you.
And we have a question from the audience. We have a question from the audience, which I'm just gonna put up on screen. It says, are you developing a Python or R package for Arabic NLP? You're on mute, or just give me a second.
We are using Python as the main language for our research. It's actually much easier to start with the language most used in this area.
Sounds good, thank you. As we wait for more questions to come in, I just wanted to understand from you, your sorry.
Yeah. We didn't hear the question, actually.
Sorry, I think I'm having some connectivity issues, but I was just saying yours is a smaller team and you're dealing with a really big problem when it comes to solving for NLP. What motivates you to do this kind of work, and what teams do you have in place to help you with it?
So what motivates us? We are a media that publish in 3 languages, but mainly in Arabic, because we are based in Tunisia and this is our mother language. So this is very important and essential for us to have these tools for Arabic, English, and French. And even in French, we face a lot of challenge because it's not in the same level of the English. So we are a small team, yes, but we have a team of journalists that help us to verify the content, to check the data, also to annotate the data that we scrap from the website, and they are our reviewers, which means that they are our first users. They try the model that we develop and they give us feedback to improve them. So this is very, very important for us to have this work with journalists and data science to understand their needs, understand what kinds of tools that can help them concretely in their daily work, and it helps us to improve our work also.
Yeah, that sounds like a very thorough process. I'll just go to one more question from our audience before I have a follow-up, which is, how are you dealing with different dialects in Arabic when you're doing this work?
Yeah, this is a very, very important question, because we saw that there is 25 countries that speak Arabic. Let's say the classic one, the classic Arabic, which is the same in the whole country, but there is also dialect. But for now, we are not tackle this problem because we treat with journalistic article, which is written by the classic Arabic. So everyone in this 25 country, when we talk about a scientific article or journalistic article, everyone write with the classic Arabic. But when we want to understand, for example, comments on social media, to understand the interaction under our article, we need to understand dialect, and this is a huge challenge. We already start by collecting data, but maybe Farouk can tell you more about this challenge, but it's a huge one.
As Chayma said, we're not planning to tackle this problem as our first solution. The classic Arabic should reach the most of the Arabic users. As she said, the 25 countries could all understand the classic Arabic, but it's important to tackle it. We are collecting the data. When we are done at creating the solutions that we can use on the classic Arabic, we'll be moving to each dialect. This should affect us more when we are dealing with audio. And video, because the dialect should appear and make the most difference in the audio. But we're not actually we didn't start by solving the dialect problem. We will be moving to it after we solve the classic Arabic problems.
Great, thank you so much. Just before we wrap up, I had one final question for both of you, which is what kind of impact do you seek to have with all this work that you're doing, not only on your organization, but with, I'm assuming you want to help other Arabic language newsrooms as well with the work you're doing. Sure.
For example, as we explain it in our presentation, we already deploy some solution in Inkyfada. For example, the recommendation system. We saw clearly that we reach more audience with this solution, because when users connect on their profile, they can the machine propose them article based on their preference, based on their history of viewing or listening to a podcast. So this is a direct impact that we already saw, but we saw also that there is a lot of needs. We have been connected with a lot of media in the region they want to try our solution. So we will see a lot of impact in the few months and years that's coming.
We're actually, for example, let's take the crowdsourcing platform. We're hoping that someday we can push other organization or other startup or anyone who would work on AI to innovate, to push through just trying to catch up to English. Maybe someday we can surpass it by coming together and creating the data set and creating the solution and make it available to everyone.
Great. How should somebody reach out to you if they want to collaborate with you or help you in your work?
You can reach us by our email, our account, our the Inky Voices, for example, platform will be online very soon. They can test it on inkyvoices.inkylab.com, and yeah, we are always here to help.
Great. Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of this session. Thank you both for joining us and giving us this great presentation. A lot of learnings for everybody all around. And for the next session, We have facts at your fingertips, automating information modules, which will be presented by the EMEA Collab Challenge participants. They will talk about why they decided to automatically generate information modules and add, or fact boxes, and add context to articles. So stay tuned for that and see you then.